Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's a beautiful May 5th, 2020. Coming up in the Crusty Canuck podcast. Panic. The myth is real. Let's eat. A person gets taken down in Lethbridge, Alberta for wearing a stormtrooper costume, and more BS and bright lies from our Liberal government. All that and more coming up in the Crusty Canuck podcast. Stay tuned.
Because I am hard, you will not like me. There is no racial bigotry here. Here you are all equally worthless.
This podcast is brought to you by Mad Hatter Industries, No Quarter Given, and Rampage Coffee Company. Strong, rich, and smooth. Here's Crusty. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, a beautiful May 5th, 2020. And I want to say thank you to everybody that has reached out on my last video I did on May 1st there on YouTube in regards to the ridiculous gun ban that our beloved leaders have promoted. And we'll talk about that. I recently went over the list. I'll leave a link in the description there in regards to what is banned by the federal government. And there's quite a bit of a faux pas going on here. Now, I'll leave it up to you to look at the link. It comes from the National Post. Basically, the whole list of what's banned in Canada based on Justin's fucking bullshit in regards to you can't hunt with an AR-15, which you never could to begin with, and Krista Freeland's little bullshit fucking misogynistic crap that she was talking about, and of course, Bill Blair's infinite wisdom when it comes to public safety. Now, when you look at the list, go down to column Z117. You'll see it all there. It's all alphabetically put together there. They put Black Rifle Company BRC 15 Bravo 15B. Now, when you type that in on your search engine, be very, very careful. You might be surprised to find what you see. It's a goddamn coffee company. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, not only can you not have a gun in this country anymore, but how dare you drink a coffee from a company that uses a black rifle as its logo. Heaven forbid. What are we coming to? Oh, the humanity! Oh my God. And now you go down to Z column again and look at 085 and 86. You will also see AR15.com. That's a website. Okay? So I know they want to ban the AR-15, but I guess they don't want you looking at the website too. You know, that just might instigate something. That might make you prone to go out and buy yourself a big black gun while you're having your Black Rifle coffee. And you might start shooting something or someone. Right? Now, really, it just goes to show that if they had our best interests at heart, they would do a little more fucking research when it came to putting together a list or a comprehensive list on what we can own and not own. Now, after seeing that, I can understand typos. I can understand the odd spelling error. We're all guilty of it. Hell, I fucking do it all the time. But after going through that list and naming off all these rifles, all these bad things that Canadians can't own anymore because guns are bad and you don't need to go hunting with an AR-15. Well, Justin, you fucking tool, it's been illegal to hunt with begin with because it's a restricted weapon. Okay? It's a restricted firearm. And you can sit there and call it assault style or whatever you want. It's factually fucking wrong. I'll say again, you're allowed a capacity of 5 rounds in a semi-automatic capable firing firearm. 5 rounds. And you sit there and talk about rapid fire and all this. Oh, we don't want rapid fire. And oh my God, there are guns to kill. Every gun can kill somebody. And now apparently shotguns are being fucking questioned and stuff too. So they're not thinking this through. Typical fucking brand new liberal logic. Let's not think this through. Let's panic. Let's jump the gun. Figure of speech. And cause some more fucking chaos for the sake of it. Okay? And then they'll sit there and talk about unity and all these wonderful things. All these wonderful things about getting together and loving one another. And yet, They don't want to love their own citizens. Right? Once again, thank you to everybody who gave me some great positive feedback there on the video that I did on YouTube. Thank you very much. It's good to see there's a lot of Canadians out there who think the same way and who want the same things: peace, security, and freedom. And, well, we're not going to find peace of mind with these clowns. We're not going to find security with these clowns. And we're definitely not going to find freedom. Freedom to choose, freedom to buy what we like, right? And coming soon, I'll be putting up in a few minutes there, I'll be actually reading something that came from an actual rifle and firearms instructor in regards to the procedure on what goes on in this country. Now, I've said it numerous times on the show before, what the procedure is, but this is coming from the horse's mouth here. I'll read that shortly, but fuck. After reading this, I'm going, this is what you're afraid of? Some shithead steals guns, kills people in Nova Scotia, right? And you have to make reference to what Mark Lepine did in 1989, make reference to Mayor Thorpe, make reference to that shithead kid that killed those 6 Muslims in Quebec City because he had a military-style rifle, right? Meant for killing, rapid fire. Rapid fire is trigger manipulation, sunshine. You should know that as police chief there, Bill Blair. You know, you do have to qualify every year when you were serving, did you not? Right? Different techniques, hold, all that good stuff. Marksmanship principles. But I guess that's out the window because you're towing the party line, right? You limp-wristed fuck. Anyhow, I'm just so fucking tired of this crap. Anyway, tell me what you think. CrustyBCanuck67@gmail.com. Here in the Podbean, leave a comment. Or on YouTube. Give me a comment. Give me a thumbs up if you like what you hear and see. Please comment, like, and share, and subscribe all the same. If you'd like to donate, I'll leave links at the bottom too where you can donate. I have PayPal and Subscribestar and Patreon and the Podbean contribution page. So don't worry, folks. I'll be leaving links at the end of this podcast here. Improve my description and all this. But holy shit. It's like the old saying, crack don't smoke itself, right? Wow. Okay. Anyhow, going back onto this whole ban list, it's we know it's a panic. Like I said in my video, it's all it is. It's a panic. Well, how else do you describe it? How else do you describe such a hideous reaction to a hideous crime? They're not taking responsibility for anything. I've actually had some people weigh in on my show there who used to work for border security, and they've got lots of dirty secrets. Just take a look at the comments on my video, and you'll see what I'm talking about there. Just reference my May 1st video there on YouTube, and you'll find out some comments. And it seems like panic is going everywhere now, too. Even in the news today, I was watching what they call the virtual parliament, which to me is just lazy fucking politics, ladies and gentlemen. You can go to Walmart and stand 6 feet apart and buy whatever goodies you want. You can go to some restaurants that are still open and get takeout and still stand 6 feet apart, and yet they can't stand 6 feet apart in Parliament. Well, that's a tongue twister. 6 feet apart in Parliament? Say that 3 times really fast. 6 feet apart in Parliament. But, this virtual thing, it's bullshit. And of course, Bill Blair in his infinite wisdom, regurgitating the same old bullshit he did May 1st. Ask the hard questions. Oh, it's about safety and rapid fire, and oh my God, these are meant for killing people. Oh, they're meant for killing people. A well-educated fucking gesture from an idiot. Yeah, okay. Bullshit. Oh, God. I don't know what to say, folks. You think for yourself. I've had a few comments, too, weigh in saying, oh, guns are bad and all this other bullshit. The same regurgitated, manufactured response to people that can't think for themselves. But, all the gun owners that I know and people I have shot with and enjoyed this sport. No, we're not crazy. We're not devils. We're not idiots. But for my new listeners out there who do not understand the procedure, I will read you something that I found off the web. It's pretty well factual, of course, because it comes from a legitimate person. Anyhow, this comes from a young man or a gentleman who responded to one of my favorite groups there. Basically summed everything up, so pay attention carefully. This is the procedure you have to go through when you're acquiring firearms prior to May 1st. Firstly, let me say this. I've been a firearms instructor for 14 years, a police officer and supervisor for 8. a correctional officer for 6, and an RCMP firearms verification expert since 2012. Part of being a firearms verification expert means it's my job to be able to testify to court what classification different firearms are and their points of origin or import. That being said, I will start with this. Nothing on that list or in Canada is an assault weapon or a military-grade firearm. All military firearms have been outright banned since 1979 in Canada. Automatic firearms are prohibited in Canada. The rifles on that list are hunting and sporting rifles. Trudeau is blatantly lying and misleading Canadians by using their lack of knowledge on the subject. Firstly, he bypassed the democratic process with its outrageous, and every Canadian should be appalled. Secondly, he is dancing on the graves of the victims in Nova Scotia. The shooter used a rifle obtained in the U.S. and a pistol stolen from the constable that he killed in cold blood. The victims and the families deserve better. Nothing he did was legal. He wasn't even a firearms license holder, and he had previously been banned from owning firearms after a common assault. Right? Canadians are ridiculously strict with gun laws. Nothing in this act will help public safety in the slightest. All center-fire rifles in Canada are limited to 5 rounds. They cannot be converted to be automatic. This will cost Canadians $500 million and have zero effect on public safety. It will hurt public safety as it distracts money and attention from the real issues. The borders are weak as hell. I would say I handle more American firearms than Canadian ones. Personally, I've seized more firearms than most people have ever seen in real life. The border is the biggest problem. Secondly, the Liberals banned carding and severely limiting police powers to be proactive against gangs. The result was 48% increase in shootings and 98% increase in the number of people shot in the GTA alone. Thirdly, Liberal government passed Bill C-75, which lowered sentences on violent crime and terrorism. It reduced bail considerations and increased bail and promoted early release of offenders. The Liberals have hurt community safety far worse than we likely prepare. Chris Lewis, OPP Commissioner, retired, does not support this. The Association of Chiefs of Police do not support this. Every police officer is screaming at the waste of money that will not help anything. His personal AR holds 15 rounds. Correction, AR-15. My mistake. His AR-15 holds 5 .223 rounds. His deer rifle holds 5 .30-06 rounds. It is the most commonly used deer rifle in North America. Use common sense and tell me what's more dangerous. He also thinks it's important that people understand how licensing works. So pay attention here to my new listeners and other enthusiasts, okay? When you first decide you want your possession and acquisition license, the PAL, you find a licensed firearm instructor and tester. You will learn about different types of firearms, ammunition, safe handling, storage, and transportation. The hunter safety course required for hunting is another course and exam on top of this. For the firearms portion, only you will spend about $400 for 2 8-hour training days, followed by a lengthy exam requiring 80% or more pass mark. You then submit your application with proof of your testing, a picture, and roughly the same information you submit on your passport. 2 guarantors, etc. But if you have a former spouse or partner, hope you're still in good standing, you will need their consent, and the Chief Firearms Office, CFO, will contact them. You will wait about 6 to 12 months while they do background checks and local police record checks, as well as calling the 2 character references you provided. Then eventually your card will come in the mail at a cost of $80. Now you legally can purchase ammunition and a firearm, but only non-restricted firearms such as shotguns and hunting rifles. They must be stored separate from ammunition, out of sight and locked, right? Either with a disabling lock or in a locked container that is hard to break into. They can only be loaded in a place where they can be legally discharged, i.e. the woods, far away from people and houses. Now, if you want a pistol or sporting rifle, you need a restricted possession acquisition license, a RPAL. Back to the classroom, another 8 hours and $400. Another exam, another $80, and an application, the same as the first. You will wait 12 months again. Now you have your license. Great. You can't purchase a restricted firearms yet, though. Before you can do that, you'll need to be a member of a licensed range. Licensed rangers are overseen by the CFO and make sure they meet every stringent safety measure. So, here in one of our towns, we have a club with a 2 or 3 year waiting list. So you apply and wait. Eventually, luckily, you get a spot. You pay over $300 annual fee, but you're not shooting yet. First, another 8-hour safety course, and then 4 probationary visits with a range officer. finally you're a member. Now you can purchase a pistol and or a sporting rifle. So you can go to the store and choose one. You pay, now you wait. If you're lucky, 2 to 3 weeks maybe, sometimes 6 to 10, while the CFO approves it. And did I mention that firearms owners are checked on a regular basis by the Canadian Police Information Center, CPIC, and they're always checked daily. So finally the day comes. You can pick up your pistol or rifle. You're ready to go. Nope, sorry. You'll need 2 locks, a disabling lock and a hard container that locks. Restricted firearms are always locked twice. So, we're on our way, right? No, not yet. Now you'll need to contact the CFO, wait and hold for 35 to 40 minutes, and request an authorization to transport. This is a piece of paper they will email you with your current address and your home address permitting you to transport your new firearm. You're not allowed to stray. That would result in a 10-year sentence and a lifetime ban. Once you're home, your pistol or rifle is stored separate from ammo and locked twice. It may only be transported to and from your license range with your ATT. It may only be discharged at your range. At any time, the police on behalf of the CFO or CFO may conduct a warrantless search of your home to verify proper compliance. At any time, any person can phone the CFO or local police with a safety concern about you, and you will lose your firearms. It's now up to you to pay to defend yourself. That's the gist of the firearms licensing requirements in Canada. And believe him, gun owners are afraid of sneezing, as we and they can lose them so easily after going through so many hurdles to have them. So there it sums it up, folks. Pretty well in black and white what you can and cannot do. Anyhow, here's a message from my sponsors.
Mad Hatter Industries is not your average apparel company. The apparel is a bonus and a great way to spread the idea behind creating a community that supports each other and has their brother or sisters back at a time of need. Our mission is to create a community that supports individuals to create a fighting mindset for dealing with adversity. The Mad Hatter Industries logo is meant to be something that you can place your confidence and trust in. We will watch your back and we won't let you down. For more information, you can check us out online via Instagram or Facebook at Mad Hatter Industries or through our website at www.madhatterindustries.ca. Use the podcast promo code Canuck15 to enjoy 15% off your next order. All proceeds from Mad Hatter Industries go to support mental health organizations. Rampage Coffee Company. Extremely delicious coffee. Roasted with purpose, then delivered to your favorite mug. Our delicious coffee comes packed with enough attitude to punch you out of your morning slippers. Here at Rampage Coffee Company, we provide you superior quality coffee that is delivered to the doorsteps of any Canadian who is ready to take their coffee game to the next level. We hand select quality beans to be a small batch roasted by our head roaster, which ensures unparalleled attention to details and amazing quality in all our coffee. Cheers to a freshly roasted kick-ass coffee. Rampage Coffee Company. Use the code CRUSTYCANUCK to get free shipping on the Rampage sampler.
That's right. Rampage Coffee, Mad Hatter Industries, good people down there. Blue-collar folk and just really nice people. Anyway, carrying on back with the old firearms issue. So you've heard me regurgitate enough in the whole regards to the firearms debacle that our beloved leaders are trying to promote here. But we know better. What I'm asking for, though, is a peaceful resolution, of course. You know, I'm not going to strap my guns on my back and go to legislature and start screaming. In a way, we should. But after seeing what I saw today, and I'm getting to the point here, there was a story that came out of Lethbridge in regards to someone dressing up on May the 4th and celebrating Star Wars Day. We all know about May the 4th. May 4th, 1977 was the day when Star Wars came to theaters, and it blew everyone's mind. It became a success, became a great franchise, and it captivated the hearts and minds and imaginations of young boys and girls everywhere. But this came out of CTV News, out of Lethbridge, and I'll read it for you, and there's a video that will follow this, but I warn you, though, too, there was no sound in the video when I saw it, but I'll add it to the description nonetheless. So basically, out of CTV Calgary there. An employee at a Star Wars-themed restaurant had a memorial May 4th. After a costume celebration, a replica weapon drew the attention of the police and ended with her nose bloodied. While dressed as a stormtrooper, the worker went into the parking lot of the Cocoa Vanilla Galactic Cantina in Lethbridge at the direction of her manager. She danced with a blaster in hand on May the 4th, the day fans celebrate the film franchise, as a play on the iconic May the Force Be With You line. Lethbridge police arrived with guns drawn, and the stormtrooper dropped the plastic toy to the ground. Apparently, a couple of people have called 911 and said that there was somebody with a gun on 13th Street North, said Brad Whalen, the restaurant's owner. A number of police officers had shown up to our business with guns drawn on our employee. Whalen says Ashley suffered a bloody nose after she was tackled to the ground by officers and handcuffed. The officers approached the person and provided verbal directions to that person to drop the weapon, to put themselves on the ground, said Inspector Jason Walper of the LPS. The person did not comply with police's verbal directions. Eventually they did after multiple repeat orders given by the police officers. Whalen suspects the stormtrooper helmet restricted Ashley's ability to hear the officers, and he believes the police should have been able to piece together the situation. Sometimes you really have to use common sense, said Whalen. When all the things fit in the box, you've got the signs. You've got the music, the atmosphere. A duck is a duck when it's walking like a duck. Wolper says the LPS take all weapons complaints seriously. Although I do understand linkage to Star Wars is certainly not a day where our officers are expecting to have to respond to a firearms complaint. As of Monday afternoon, the worker was not facing any charges in connection to the incident, but police say the investigation into the matter is ongoing. According to Mr. Whalen, Ashley was shaken over the ordeal. Now, like I said, I'll leave a video link to this and a link to this story too. But you just want to say, come on, folks. Really? Considering Lethbridge police should have an understanding of what's in that city and how things carry on in that city, you would think they'd have an understanding. Now, I'll leave a video link to that too that comes from Freedom Media Canada. I'll leave a link to their work as well. But it just... I can understand if someone was dressed in other clothing. Now, I'm not saying, the police should be aware of what Star Wars Day is. I don't believe that at all. But I think they could have handled that situation a hell of a lot better. And considering the police officers I know personally, and the fact that I was taught how to disarm somebody back in my military career, to thwart a threat, I think they handled it improperly. Anyway, tell me what you think. CrustyBCanuck67 at gmail.com. You can also find me on the Facebook and the Instagram under the same name, Crusty Canuck. You can find me on Twitter too. I'll leave links in the description. But I tell you, the panic's going full retard. Never go full retard. To quote Robert Downey Jr. there in the movie Tropic Thunder, right? But still. Like, I feel bad for that girl in the stormtrooper costume who was literally tackled down. But then you also have to look at the police officer's point of view briefly. Sure, they're trained how to do this and all that, but I think the panic button is getting a little too fucking... I think being used too much on our government and, of course, Lethbridge police. But really, folks, come on. We can do better than that. Honestly, we could do a hell of a lot better than that. And shame on that. She was on the business property advertising the restaurant. It's no different than someone dressing up in a chicken suit with a billboard on their hand or on their body, advertising chicken or seafood or whatever have you. We've all seen characters like that before, handing out flyers. Come on in, enjoy this, enjoy that. And you would think the police officer in that area would have an understanding of their jurisdiction, what goes on in certain areas, but I guess not, eh? So, anyway, it just shows a pitiful excuse how the panic is real, and it's getting out of hand, right? Like, really, who in the right mind would look at a blaster, a toy? Doesn't matter if it's a replica or not. It's a glorified toy, if anything, and do their thing. We've all heard stories about kids getting shot with toy guns, right? But it's getting fucking pathetic, this whole anti-gun mentality. Panic, panic, panic. That's the best way to deal with it. No, it's not the best way to deal with it. You still got to be thorough. You still got to be concise. You still got to be precise. And based on what I mentioned earlier, based on the articles, and based on what they put restricted and banned in this country, they're not being precise. And it's beginning to show with a couple of our police officers, which makes other police officers look bad. I'm not going to stand by that. And more to the beer bug stuff. Frank Vaughn put up a great video there today in regards to what's being said and what's being done. And I guess the censors and the powers that be want to make it criminal to ask the hard questions. Either criminal or put under scrutiny for doing it. And again, it just goes to prove, ladies and gentlemen, how our leaders do not want to be held accountable for anything. They'd rather put the blame on an inanimate object like a gun, or put the blame on a news source, or put the blame on a reporter, rather than stand by their own fucking scruples. To me, that's terrible fucking leadership. I don't care what kind of degree you have. I don't care what kind of academic background you have. I don't care if you're immersed in medicine, politics, fucking English, fucking French, fucking any language, the arts, dance. I don't give a shit. No matter what position you're in and what discipline you're in, if you're deemed a leader in said position, you fucking take responsibility for your actions, just the same as you expect your subordinates to do. Right? That's a basic principle. That's nothing new. That's not a new terminology. That's not a new concept. That's just the way it fucking goes. Right? And the more and more I hear about this beer bug dilemma, and the more lies that are coming, and you can see it out in the atmosphere right now, whether you turn on the television or go outside. People are getting antsy. People want to go out and carry on with their lives. Right? And when you get big brother government standing over there and telling you, oh, well, you can't do this, and you got to maintain social distancing, and you got to maintain this. There's also another video I saw, too, where a few police officers were in a man's home. Now, I don't know the backstory on it, but apparently there was a health official there, and 3 police officers arresting him, putting him in a cruiser, and going to take him to a hospital. I'll leave the video link up here in the description, but you decide. You listen to it, you watch it, and you decide. It's getting kind of creepy, isn't it? Right? It's getting kind of creepy, folks. You know, freedoms are being compromised. Basic, simple freedoms are being compromised. And for what? Fear, panic, control. Right? I'm not wearing an aluminum foil hat here. I'm just looking at the actions of the few. You know, I'm looking at all the dilemmas that we've seen in this country the past year. Everything from the whole gender pronoun bullshit that our military is being forced to use now, to gender identity crisis and rights, race baiting every time we turn around, every time you question somebody who happens to be of a different ethnic origin to themselves, all of a sudden are deemed as racist. You question Prime Minister, oh, you're racist, you're bigoted, or you're a white supremacist. Right? Which brings me to another article that the Saskatchewan Herald put out again. And their regurgitated bullshit. They call themselves a progressive newspaper. I'm all for freedom of the press, folks. But I'll leave a link to said column there. It was just garbage. Holy fucking, just pitiful. You know, the whole white supremacist thing. You know, the Caucasian white terrorist again. You know, apparently the writer, she was complaining that how people on the right wing are complaining about the guns. And it's like, well, it's not a right wing issue. It's right down the fucking middle to every gun owner in this country, lady. So your research is fucking disingenuous, null and void. But I'll leave a link to her article. It was just terrible. But like I say, it's getting ridiculous. So we got to start making sense again, ladies and gentlemen. We got to start making sense of what's real. We got to start respecting more and more. And I'm entitled to my opinion, just like you're entitled to your opinion. And I've had some very good opinions weighed in on my videos and my podcast lately. And I've had some shitty ones too, but I'll engage those people in debate. I had one clown sitting there saying, oh, you don't know what you're talking about when it comes to seniors. Seniors looked after very well. What do you mean? Oh my God, Harper did this and Harper did that. And I'm not going to give this clown, give away his name and, you know, ruin his privacy. But just garbage. You know, the whole, let's blame Harper again. Like, he hasn't been in charge in fucking almost 5 years. And you're still blaming him? And I also asked him, too, and it's like, well, if seniors are treated so well, how come 31 of them passed away in Quebec there a few weeks back due to negligence? And it wasn't just the whole beer bug thing. It was a matter of fucking negligence. You know, I've sat in town halls with a conservative politician recently, telecom there, via telephone. And 5 of the questions were from seniors that were not impressed with the whole 50 cent more on their check that they were getting every month. And what pisses me off is this clown had the audacity to sit there and say, oh, there's no problems. The whole, oh, there's nothing to see here, carry on. Yeah, okay. Well, Mr. Liberal cult follower, licking Justin's boot heels, don't be crying when it comes for time to get your benefits. And what pissed me off, too, is this individual took it upon himself to ridicule myself and other veterans who've had to wait for a period of years to get benefits. Right? So obviously this fucker never served in a day of his life. I don't give a fuck if he's 60 years old or if he's 70 fucking years old. Right? Just being a fucking dick. Kind of thing you want to do to somebody, you know, when you hear this guy talking, you just want to pick up a shovel and smack him upside the head and hear that ding, you know what I mean? But I'm not encouraging violence, folks. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, but if you're going to debate with me on things, you better get your shit together. And I've stood corrected before on many issues. I have nothing wrong with standing corrected. I can admit when I'm wrong. It's part of being an adult. It's part of being a man. Anyhow, enough of my ranting for today on this beautiful Tuesday, 5th of May, 2020. I have been Crusty Canuck, and as I say, look after your friends and loved ones. And if you get a chance, please check out my merchandise at teespring.com. And if you do feel like donating, please, every little bit helps. I know in this time of crisis, not everybody's full of cash, but if you do feel like tossing a couple of bucks, please do. And check out Veterans Association Food Bank. Once I accumulate enough dollars every month, I try to give them some. So they're a good charity, and they're good people down there. I'll leave a link in the description as well. And as I say, ladies and gentlemen, look after your friends and loved ones. And take care of yourself. Keep your chin up. And remember, humanity and merit wins the day. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.
Because I am hard, you will not fight me. There is no racial bigotry here. Here you are all equally worthy.
The apparel is a bonus and a great way to spread the idea behind creating a community that supports in a time of need. Our mission is to create a community that supports individuals to create a fighting mindset for dealing with adversity. The Mad Hatter Industries logo is online via Instagram or Facebook at Mad Hatter Industries, or through our website at www.madhatterindustries. Promo code Canuck15 to enjoy 15% off your next order. All proceeds from Mad Hatter Industries go to support mental health organizations.